ChadArmesTV, man. We are back with another interview from the interview series, man. And this is a buddy of mine that we've actually had on the podcast before, and we're actually from the same town, man. And this is he's on the rise. He's been killing it lately, man. Shout out to Joe Tyler. We got Joe Tyler in the building.
What's going on? What's going on, guys?
What's up, dog? Good to have you, man.
I'm just kicking it, man.
Yeah, dude. You've had a lot of motion the past year, really. I mean, you've been doing your thing, but like feels like this last 12, 16 month run has been real solid for you, man.
It's been on the climb. We haven't seen nothing, no dips or anything tragically or nothing. Just try to keep putting in work. Give the people what they want, new music. And just stay on the grind.
Hell yeah, man. We're gonna kind of give the people a glimpse into Joe Tyler, like his life and kind of where you come from and what you've seen along the way, man. So we'll just start from the beginning, man. Where are you born and raised at?
Born and raised. I was born at the Baptist Hospital down here in Nashville. Raised in White House, Tennessee. It's a little town, 30 minutes north of Nashville, I'd say.
You from White House? You White House?
From White House.
Okay.
Robertson County side.
Yeah.
I lived over there for a while. We had a double wide trailer we stayed in and left there. After I got out of White House, we moved. I went to Cross Plains.
Mm-hmm.
Stayed in Cross Plains until I guess I don't know, probably about 4th, 5th grade.
Yeah.
I left out of Cross Plains and then went to Cheatham County for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Stayed out there at about 7th grade, and then I went back to White House. And then I graduated right there from White House. So I bounced around a little bit everywhere. I'd say around the Robertson County area. So when they asked me, I'm like, Robertson County. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know that you jumped around like that. I just assumed because you're Springfield. But that's cool though.
I've been out in Springfield for the past at least the last 7 years of my life.
Oh, gotcha. But just growing up was like, okay.
Growing up, I was always around White House or Cross Plains, and I had buddies and stuff out in Springfield. I ran roads out there in Springfield, but
yeah. Did y'all like growing up? Was y'all into sports and stuff growing up as kids?
Nah,
not really.
I got out there. I played basketball. My short little butterball ass, I got out there and play basketball and shit. But I played basketball in middle school for the actual school. But after that, I wanted to go play football when I went into high school. Mom, she didn't have enough money for my pads and all that shit. So I was just like, I ain't gonna worry about it. I just go to the park, ride my bike to the park, play some basketball or football or some shit.
Yeah. So like you said, you bounced around from like White House, Cheatham County, and stuff like that. What in Cross Plains? What would you say? Did you have certain places you liked better growing up as a kid?
White House was always home to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had made friends everywhere I was at, but White House right there where I was at, that was home to me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really escape that. Police knew me, all that good stuff.
Yeah, they don't
not
fuck
the
around.
Good way, but
the White House don't fuck around, bro.
No.
You get a seat. They pull over a seatbelt and they pull out and search your car every time.
I swear to God.
I worked at Lowe's for 9 years out there, dog, and dude, the amount of times I saw people getting pulled over and searched that I worked with, just for not having a seatbelt on or what. I mean, it was wild. White House don't play around.
No, they don't.
So let's shift to music. Okay, so like when you was growing up, like in the house, stuff like that, what is it you remember playing that, like growing up as a kid? Was it like country? Was your mom and them playing like country, Southern rock?
My mom, she was always into like some country, some Southern rock. Hank Williams Jr., Leonard Skinner, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin. And then you have some Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash, Johnny Paycheck, stuff like that. Always playing around the house.
Yeah.
That was always around the house. But then my brother, he's like 12 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
So he brought the whole influence of like the hip hop around me, kind of, because like that's whenever he was, I think he was probably like 18, something like that, 19, and then the Eminem, 50 Cent.
He's close to my age.
He's like I want to say about 40 something now.
Okay, so he's older, maybe. Yeah, same generation though. Yeah.
Yeah, but like he was listening to that was back whenever Dr. Dre had blew up with.
Oh yeah.
And then Eminem had just found 50 Cent and all that era.
Yep.
And then I'd go in there and I'd steal his CDs and listen to them. And Mom was like, "Nah, you don't need to be listening to that. You're too young." Da 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 da. And I'd be like, "Nope. Where's the CD player at?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I remember when that happened, bro. Because when that happened, when 50 Cent's first album dropped, I was working my first job. I was like 17, I think, something like that, or 18. And Get Rich or Die Trying come out. I was like 2002, 2003. So that's wild. That's over 20 years ago. But
I got the game and everything, dude. Yep. Whenever he came out with the game for PlayStation 2, I was like, I'm 50 Cent.
No, dude, for sure. 50 Cent was, man, like, it's crazy how big 50 Cent got like that quick. Because, before that album dropped, I mean, before 50 and them, 50 was putting out stuff on the mixtape circuit, but didn't nobody really know him like that. And then once Eminem and Dre scooped him up, it was a wrap after that, dog. Now he's a billionaire mogul,
Yeah.
But
he's got his shit planned out.
Yeah. So when you was growing up and you started listening to rap, other than 50 Cent and Eminem and stuff like that, was there anything else you remember listening to a lot? Like
a lot of Nelly, man. I like Nelly. And then you a lot of these artists, whenever you grow up and stuff like that, I listened to a lot of Wayne. Wayne had a big influence on me, dude. He was just a lyrical genius. You couldn't go wrong with no Wayne.
No, Wayne's one of my favorites.
Boosie, all them guys coming up. Gucci Mane, Gates, all them cats, man. Like, I was really influenced by like the Southern culture down here.
Yeah, 100%.
I kept it really Memphis, Atlanta. I like Florida rappers. But a lot of my influence really came from the Southern side of the music industry in all types of genres.
Yeah. Do you did you ever start? When did the music stuff become something that you wanted to try to do? Did you mess around and freestyle at school, or was it?
So it's weird. So like in the English class, whenever you had to start writing like poetry, you had to learn like haikus and all that stuff like that.
Yep.
Well, I started was writing poems and stuff, and I was like, man, if I can write a poem, I can write a song.
Yep.
You know 100%. What I mean? So like that's when I first start really trying to write my own song, and then we just moved back to White House, and my mom had a roommate and he was a DJ. And I walked down there in his basement. He had the whole setup. He had Nas instrumentals and stuff like that. And I come down there, and this is the first time I ever heard a song without the lyrics on it.
Yeah.
It's an instrumental. I'm like, what the fuck? They do this shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we threw the thing on there, and he was sitting there playing it, and I was like, what? And I started like kind of freestyling. I just wrote like a song, like a little poem thing. I was like, dude, it kind of like, it really hit me. I was like, dude, if I can write, and I found a melody, I can do this shit, man.
Yeah.
So that's what really kind of kicked off. I was about 13 years old. My mom actually had found my old songs that I recorded when I was like 13, 14, 15. I put them all in like in a little CD, burnt them on there, put them in like a case, and I mailed it to myself. They call it a poor man's copyright.
Poor man's copyright.
Yeah, I mailed that motherfucker to myself, and she went to go clean out the stuff in her closet. It was probably about a month or two ago. She said, Tyler, you won't believe what I found. I said, what is it? She said, that damn envelope has got all your damn songs on. I was like, no way, man. So I went back and listened to it. I let a couple of my buddies listen to it, and it's like, that ain't you. I was like, yeah, that's from my balls drop. Like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. So you recorded it yourself at the house?
Yeah.
What was you recording it on? Like,
it was some. So like he had a PC there, but the program that he used is what they used over in England. It started with an A. I can't even think the name of it now.
Audacity?
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. And he used that. The microphone that we had, it was actually like we didn't have no interface, nothing like that. It was just a USB microphone.
Yeah.
And then he had a booth that he had built, and it had like the mattress padding in it.
Yep.
Well, it's still there to this day. I went there and seen it not too long ago, but that's where I started. He left. We were sitting there recording, writing and stuff. He come in there, he showed me this is record. This is your tracks. This is da 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 da. He said just do this, and he walked out and left. And I just started learning how to record myself from there. And
dude, them you talking about the eggshell mattress pads?
Yeah, dude.
That was definitely like the sound, the poor man's soundproofing in the day. We did the same thing back in the day, bro. Or if it was like those and like the drink carriers that you get like at McDonald's.
Hustle and flow type shit.
Yeah, hustle and flow shit, bro, for real. Yeah, that shit was crazy, man. Because back then, you just kind of did what you had to do. When you was learning that stuff, doing all that, when did it become something that you were like, shit, let me try taking this seriously? Because back then when you was doing that, was you just doing it for fun? I mean, you was young, so you was
When
just
I was
probably
doing it, like I had a dream. Like when
yeah,
I did it and the inspiration hit me, of course the dream hit me as well. Like
yeah,
I can be on stage. Did I ever think like I would ever get to a point to where I am now? Probably not. I mean, it
yeah.
was just like a want. And I guess the strive and the passion for it kept, prolonging. When I got to the age, I was about like 17. Then I was like, man, I'm gonna start taking this serious. Da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fell out the wrong path. I started getting into drugs and robberies and things of that sort.
Oh
And
damn.
in and out, yeah, in and out a lot of times. And then I didn't really take the music so serious. It wasn't really the main thing that was on my mind. I did it more as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I had one session I went into, man, I was so fucked up. I booked a 12-hour session, and I had an idea of going in there and finishing out 6 songs, top, bottom, mix,
Yeah,
master, everything like that. I went in that some bitch, and we didn't even get one song completed.
yeah,
And then I spent a whole 12 hours in there and just fucked off everything.
yeah,
Yeah, but you live and you learn, You're
yeah.
younger, you experience shit, and if you don't learn from it, then that's your fault. You know what I
Right.
mean?
What age was that?
Uh, shit.
Fresh out of high school
So
type time.
in high school, I was still fucking around in high school, and I graduated at age 17. So I say probably from the age of 16 all the way up to the age I was about 21, 22.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dark era in my life.
Was it what was it? Pills?
It was pills.
Yeah.
Man, it was all kind of shit. I never did go the opioid route. That was never my type of thing.
Like bars, like Xannies or something.
Yeah, Xannies. I love the Xannies, man.
Yeah.
Xannies, and I had to trip on ice for a little while.
Yeah.
And then what really opened my eyes, I got into a relationship with a girl, and we was 3 months into the relationship. She tells me she got pregnant, and I'm like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like I'm fixing to be a dad. I don't
Yeah.
want that child to grow up the same way I grew up. I'm in a fucked up position in my life, so I got to change some shit around. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I flipped the script, man, and I went and got a real job. I was an electrician.
Yep.
That's when I became an electrician, and I quit fucking off. I mean, I smoke bud, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
um, quit fucking off, and I got a house, got stable, and then I was there throughout the pregnancy, and then a year and a half later, after the child was born, I found out it wasn't mine.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah, it was also, I feel like it was an angel sent down from heaven, really, because it helped my life. I feel like it also helped her life out as well.
Was she doing the same kind of stuff you were doing when she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when we first got into a relationship, we was both fucked up
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
and then everything happened. We just switched shit around. Um, it's life. It's life. You live and you learn. But then I found that out, and then whenever we broke up, we split apart, we went our ways and stuff. That's when I decided, I was like, man, like what the fuck am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I lost all my friends, this, that, and the third. What am I gonna do with my life? And then my manager Bailey, he been fucking with me for a long time, man. Since I was about 14, I went over to his house, and I started freestyling in his kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, dude, you got something. I was 14 years old. I was like, I appreciate you, dog. Da, da, da. And he's rocked with me ever since then.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, man, you really need to start. What about music?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, bro, I ain't picked up the mic. I ain't wrote nothing. And, it's probably been 2 or 3 years now.
Oh, this was after all that stuff
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Because I dropped everything. You know what I mean? And he was like, come on, bro, you got to do it. And that's whenever I wrote TriStar Outlaw. I ran into Chase,
Mm-hmm.
and then me and Chase, we've been friends for probably 2 years before this.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into him, and it was like I feel like you run into people at the right time for for certain reasons, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was kind of another inspiration because Bailey had just talked to me about getting into music. And then Chase reached out to me, hey man, come kick it, come hang out with me. And then he was just like, he was also in the music scene as well. And I was like, this is a sign.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I started to get back into music, and I did TriStar Outlaw. When I did that, it took off more than anything that I've ever done. Yeah. And I was like, okay, now it's time to start taking stuff serious.
Yeah. So just to backtrack a minute. So when you was talking about you found out that the girl you was with was pregnant, you wanted to be present in her life. So was your pops not around? Was it just your mom?
And now, like me and my pops he's been around. He's been dead now since 2015.
Oh, I'm RIP to your pops, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's been around. We didn't have like a real close relationship, but I went and seen him every other weekend.
So they were divorced.
Yeah, they was
okay, got
divorced.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went and seen him every other weekend. And whenever I graduated from high school, I went to go actually work for him for a little bit. So that's when we kind of got closer around that time.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't nothing but maybe 7 months later. That's when he passed away.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. There's another thing I want to ask you. When you talked about when you find out, like a year and a half later, when you find out that your girl's kid is not yours, right?
Yeah.
Did that send you on a dark path, back down a dark path, or did you take it?
Because I like her being born kind of brought me out of that dark path situation. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck am I living for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's more to life than this type of shit.
Just fucking off, yeah.
Just fucking off, getting in. It's just a revolving door, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You get in, you get out, you get in. You know what I mean? That really kind of opened my eyes, and I was like, I can't go back. You know, I did go out to bars and start hanging out with friends, drinking this type. But like, as far as going back down that damn tunnel, no.
Well,
it did fuck me up though. Like, I had moments where like I cried because I felt like everything was just stripped from me. You know, I raised this little girl, and I was like, I had everything in there that like I thought she was mine. Rumors started going around, and she had blonde hair, blue eyes, and I started thinking, I'm like, hold up, her eyes and her hair ain't really changing right now. And then more rumors started going around. It's like, I'm dark headed. You know, my eyes they're dark too. Like, something's not adding up here.
Yeah.
And then
and it's a weird thing to have to try to bring up. You know what I mean? Because you're like doing that, you're automatically accusing your girl of like, you know, cheating or whatever. But then I mean, obviously, however it happened is what happened. But do you have any do you have any contact with the
so like
girl?
There for a little bit, like right afterwards, it was hard for me to like completely just cut it off. So like Easter, you know, her birthday or like Christmas, I'd stop by there, say hi, and give her a present or something like that. Yeah. She kind of went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So like I try to like eliminate myself in the situation.
For sure, yeah.
So like I don't want to be like those in and out guys, and I didn't want to be in and out and confuse a child because like it's not right on her part.
Right.
But then again, like, you know, hey.
It's well, that too, and she was young enough to know that, like, well, she probably didn't really know what was going. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't want to string it out till she was 4 years old or something, and just like,
who is that? Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Like, if I was gonna do it, it wasn't for me. And like, what made it really harder is it was one of my best friends. That was the daddy. You know what I mean? So like that like the whole situation, you kind of like,
so that kid that ended that. That's rough, man. So going back to what we were saying about TriStar Outlaw. So you dropped TriStar Outlaw October 30th, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to speak about the pandemic? So you said you was an electrician, right? Was you doing that?
They didn't slow us down at all.
Okay.
The first case of corona in Tennessee was at the Batman building. Okay.
Yeah.
It was at the Batman building. The day that went on the news and they was talking about it, I look up, the building that we were working at was Citizens Plaza. And that is literally like 50 feet away from the Batman building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they did not, they go back out there the next day, keep on working. Fine. You know what I mean?
Y'all are essential.
Yeah. We was essential. We did a lot of work for like Verizon and stuff. So like a lot of your emergency calls and stuff like that, they needed us there.
Yeah.
So we can, you know, if anything happened, you know, something had like, you get a 911 call, you ain't gonna get to the police if you ain't got no data to transfer anything. You know what I mean?
Especially with that being a thing, like with the pandemic being a thing, that was even more important, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, so at least it kept you working. But you dropped Rowdy in October 2020, and then you said that's when you started seeing, or not Rowdy, you dropped TriStar Outlaw.
Mm-hmm.
When you dropped that in 2020, that was your first official like single. And you said you saw stuff really starting to.
Yeah, like I had 1,000 plays in like a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
You know, like whenever I was trying to do music before, it would take me a year and a half to get 1,000 plays.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And I was like, man, like these people are fucking with me. So that's whenever I changed everything on my social medias. I was like at Joe Tyler 615. We're just gonna be straight across the board. Everything's gonna be simple. So if you look me up, it's at Joe Tyler 615 on everything. I went through and I started like thinking about every mistake that I did when I was a younger artist.
You just use a little twist, right?
I went by Young Twist.
Young Twist, sorry, my bad.
And my first name was Lil T. Then I went by Two Twisted. Then I went by Young Twist. And then I was fucked off. And then
right.
So
you just dropped the twist altogether.
Yeah.
On the comeback.
Yeah. When I came back, when I was like, man, I'm just gonna dig deeper into my roots. Find out. We're gonna be who I am. I'm right. Joe Tyler. You know what I mean? So hell, I don't even remember where we was going at.
You talking about ChadArmesTV Outlaw. So you said you got 1,000 play. Yeah. You started seeing people work, messing with it like more than before.
Yeah, and then I was like, I got to rebrand. You know what I mean? And I took my whole rebrand, more serious. Cause I seen a lot of the mistakes and stuff I made earlier in my artist career, and I was like, I'm not fixing to do that again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got everything, all my shit together, my ducks in a row, and I started working on more music, and I was like, we got another one coming. I did Rowdy.
Yeah, Rowdy was June of 2021. Yep. You dropped it on 615, right? June 15th. So I remember that's when I remember seeing you, because I started seeing like you throwing field parties or something. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And I remember hearing the Rowdy song, but I remember that's how I remember seeing you, and I was like, "This dude," because then you was like from where I'm from. But you can go ahead. But you want to speak on the Rowdy, like how that came about?
Rowdy, hell, that one right there. It's just really, it was a fun song. I like to throw parties. I like to get down, get drunk, man, have big old bonfires. So
yeah,
when I did that, I was like, we're gonna write a song about it, and we did that. And then that's whenever the era of my party started going crazy. I did the music video for Rowdy, and I sent it out, and like, man, I don't know, it was like 600 people that showed up out there the first party I threw out, and I was like, oh my God, this is wild, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I threw another one probably like 3 months later, and it had like 1,500 people show up out there. That was for Halloween.
Damn. That's fire.
I was like, what the fuck? And somebody wound up pulling a gun out there, and I just had to shut it down. Yeah. And then I threw another one, and I learned to get a wand and wind people down this time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I can get a bigger piece of property land, I'm probably gonna get back into the party and things, because like they was going crazy. We had fun.
Well, you got to think too, bro. When you was getting that many people to show up, then that was the very beginning.
That was
before what we're fixing to get into here in a minute. And you went to another tier as far as popularity and success and stuff. So if you can get that many people in initially, you'd have to have a bigger piece of property this next go around, probably.
Yeah, because hell, we had that one that had like 1,500 people. Man, we had cars parked it's on a back road. It was just like literally one lane. You know what I mean? And we had cars parked on both sides of this one lane, and the police tried to show up. I had waivers and everything. Like, everything was legitimate, so they couldn't shut the party down. The only thing that they could say is get your damn cars off the road.
Yeah.
And the cop, he had to walk literally a mile down the road to get to the driveway to the party, because he couldn't get his car like in between. He was pissed off when he got down
there. Yeah. Rowdy for sure, dude.
Hey,
that's the way to say it, man. Yeah. And then August 27th, 2021, you dropped Friday, which was just a couple months later. You followed up with another single with B Manley made it. He was on the. Is he the producer?
Yep.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
B Manley, he's dope, man.
Yeah. So you want to speak about, was Friday you was just trying to keep things?
I was just trying to keep things afloat, and I was like, hey man, what we all like to do, we like to, everybody out here working, they get their damn check, and then on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they like to go out here and, have some fun. Maybe Sunday's their calm down day, but Friday for sure, everybody's like, let me go get some drinks in me. If you're single, go find you a lady or something at the bar or whatnot. So that was more like, let's hit Broadway, go get drunk, have a good time type shit.
Yeah. For sure. And another one that I started, because this next one is another one that I saw where I started to see like even more growth, was when you did Jesse James.
Yeah. That
was like the 1st of 2022, January or something like that. And I remember that one, I was like, I started to see you getting momentum, bro. We started, because like you, at that time, you'd, Rowdy and all that had already dropped. And when Jesse James came out, I was like, oh, he's on to something for sure.
Yeah. I got a lot of Trinidad James comparisons on that one with that gold all of my watch. You know what I mean? I was like, y'all can't do me like that.
Yeah.
But like, cause you heard a lot of songs like Rick Ross had that I think I'm Big Meats, you know,
yeah,
Larry
BMF.
Hoover
Yep.
type
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
And I was like, man, like Jesse James, that's American Outlaw. And
100%.
fun fact, man, Jesse James, I'm actually related to him. He's one of my ancestors.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. My mom kind of broke it down to me. It was before that's one of the reasons why I kind of wrote the song, and she kind of broke it down to me and explained everything to me. And I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then and also during the video, there's a spot out in Orlando, Tennessee. It's actually a bank, a library now, but it used to be a bank back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse James had robbed that place.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to live out in Orlando
so like
for a while.
the whole prospect, like the whole thing of the video was like, okay, so I'm reading this book about Jesse James. I pass out at the bar, then I go into a dream, and I'm like, bitch, I think I'm Jesse James.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I go take this guy's money, takes his horse, take his old lady,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then at the end I wake up and I'm like, whoa, that dream's wild. Well, I go return the book at the library that he robbed the bank. So like, I should have put like a better dialogue in there about it because not a lot of people are getting it, but like, hey, yeah. But that one right there, that's probably one of my favorite to perform live because it's just so hype. Cause you just, bitch, I think I'm Jesse James.
Yeah, for sure,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the other two songs you did were more like party. They were just more party vibey type tracks.
Yeah.
And that one, that's when I saw that I was like, yeah, because seeing that you could do that type of stuff too. And then you dropped Dixie Made the following month in February of 2022. And at this point, are we to a point yet where you started to, where the TikTok started taking off, or are we?
No, at this point right here, like I'm still trying to grow some. I had probably maybe 900 monthly listeners, 1,000 monthly listeners. You know, I wasn't doing too terrible, but everything it's still been projecting upwards. And then I think my first biggest tick that I had was probably Bills Got Paid.
That's what I was gonna say. Is the first one? Yeah. That's the next one. That's June of 2022. Bills Got Paid.
Yep. That's when TikTok really kind of started, fucking with me a little bit. People started using the sounds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a whole different vibe than when I put out before. I was kind of scared to really go melodic because nobody really heard it, and I haven't really tried to, sing as much. I don't have like a, I don't think I could sing too much myself. But when I did it, and people started going crazy for it, and I was like, wow, okay, let's see what this bag's talking about over here. Let's see if we stay in this zone. And, so we do. And then I started thinking about me and my buddy. We'd go out on the lakes all the time, and I wrote a song called "Summertime."
Oh, that's where we're at now, July of 2022, summertime. Yep.
And I was just like, man, like this. We're gonna try to do this out. And that's when I really started figuring out like how versatile it really could be, as far as I can do some country, I can do some rap, I can do some pop, I can throw some rock in there. Like, I really want to just tie everything together because that's overall my influences growing up.
Like going back to what you were saying earlier about Skinner and Johnny Paycheck and all that stuff growing up, and then the 50 Cents and the Nellies and all, you're blending all that together. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and then you dropped Just My Type, September of 2022.
Yeah. That was I was trying to test out the bag for the women on that one. I was like, I ain't got no songs out for the ladies. You know what I mean? I was like, I got to do something for the ladies. So I tested that one out, and just now, I actually like it had done a little bit, but within the past 3 months, Just My Type has actually started doing really decent. And I'm like, oh wow, like it just threw me for a loop.
Yeah, it's weird how that works, man. How you'll drop something and then like, if it doesn't initially boom, then you're like, well, this is a flop, or not a flop, but it's like, but then a year from now, it could hit a stride. And I mean, you know what I mean?
That's what Summertime did to me. Like, it didn't take off that summer, but the next summer,
I was like delayed.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yep. One of my favorite ones that you dropped is the next one we're going to talk about is Changes. I really, really fuck with that one, dog. November of 2022 is when you drop Changes. And up to this point, what people need to understand too, up to this point, you've done all this stuff that you've done, and you've done no features. You've done all of them solo. What I'll say about you too, bro, is you're very good at promo. Mm-hmm. You're very good at the way you roll things out, and I started seeing that when you did Bills Got Paid. Once you started Bills Got Paid, the way that you promoted it and like the build up, I think that along with being talented as well, but they go hand in hand. being able to do that, like, I salute you on that, because that a lot of artists don't correctly do that promo, and that's
Yeah.
just as big of a part of it as the actual music.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to throw it out there. I mean, you can put
Mm-hmm.
a bone on the kitchen table, but the dog's outside. How's he gonna get it?
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And then after Changes is when I know this is when stuff started really taking off too. When you did the Jibs remix, you did Truck Ride High.
Oh, bro, that was the
Yeah.
next switch. When I did that, I did
And we're in
truck.
2023 now.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that was the whole switch right there. Like I did truck ride. I was like, man, I want to do a little remix, something in my childhood. Like, what can we do? And I was at work and I was whistling. I was sitting there and I was fixing to make up his thing to run some conduit or whatever. And
Jibs,
just,
chain hang low, bro.
and
Yeah.
I was like, and then like next thing I know, I was like, does your truck ride high? And I was like, okay, when I get off work today, dude, we're gonna go do it.
Yep.
And that's what I did. And like I posted a little snippet of it on TikTok, and it was like,
Bro,
I was like,
wow. That shit went stupid.
I was like,
ham, dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck. So I finished it that day. And I called Bailey. I was like, hey, bro. So like, I just did this, listen to it. And he's like, bro, I think they're gonna fuck with that. That's like 2000s. 2000 shit's kind of coming back, you know.
100%
like,
it is, dude.
I was like, fuck, let's do it then. So I finished it up and I uploaded it to YouTube. I think within like 3 days. And then the DSPs needed like 2 weeks or something like that for it to be put into. So I entered in DSPs, and then it just went. It climbed and climbed and climbed and climbed. And then I went over to Chase's one day, kicked it with him. I was over there with Ryan Charles and who else was over there? Ryan Charles, somebody else, and then Colt Ford. He winded up walking in there, and then we was all sharing unreleased music and stuff, and just playing stuff. And I played Cocky.
So you already had Cocky done.
I had Cocky done all the way up until the second verse.
So I got you. Yeah.
I had an open verse
enough for some TikTok stuff.
Yeah. And I was showing everybody Cocky or whatever, and Colt was kind of like, bro, I'm trying to hop on that. And I was like, let's work.
Fire.
Let's work. So I sent it to him. He had the verse back to me, like, I think within 2 days.
Shout out Colt, and prayers and thoughts are with Colt, man. He's going through it right now.
For sure, man.
He's an influence on both of us.
Good guy.
Yeah. So good
guy.
So when you dropped Truck Ride High, that was February of 23. And then you didn't drop Cocky until June of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
But that Truck Ride High was booming so well. You just kept.
I was riding off of it. Like I didn't want to interfere with it because it had some success going. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, if I drop something right now on top of it, it might clash. And then also I had a thing with Cocky when I went to upload it, like, because I was gonna try to upload 3 months after, the Truck Ride High came out.
Yeah.
Well, the DSP I was using at the time, they like failed to upload, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I got an invite over to another DSP, and then distribution company.
Yeah.
And we uploaded Cocky, and I think it was just the timing and everything. I don't know what happened, but like as soon as Cocky hit live, man, like I woke up and looked at TikTok the next day, and it already had like, I want to say like 2,000 videos have been made to it within like 48 hours, and I was like, holy shit, dude.
Bro.
And then it just started climbing and climbing and climbing, and next thing I know, like, everybody's cussing me out because every time they scroll on their fucking FYP, it's, I think they mad.
Yeah, dude.
Pissed off just a tad, and I'm like, God bless. And right now it's like 220,000 videos have been made.
Bro, it's at 3.8 million streams on Spotify, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, one thing we'll talk about with Cocky is, and I know you get it, I see it all the time. People talk about Kevin Gates.
Yep.
So speak about that, because I think there's similarities, but it's like, I be seeing people comment, and people are just haters, bro. But I be seeing people comment saying, oh, he's trying to be like, and I'm like, well, y'all ain't listened to any of the stuff before this.
Yeah. Because
that's just what you've sounded like that before.
I think a lot of it's really just the tone in our voice. We got a very similar tone in our voice. We got a real Southern slang. I've talked like this for I don't know how long.
Right. It's just how you talk.
You know
bro.
what I mean?
And you said you grew up listening to him, so it's like, it's just like anybody else that's influenced by other artists, you know. But that right there, that when Cocky came out, bro, and that shit started going stupid on TikTok, and then that's when, because how many followers are you at now on TikTok?
I'm at 300 and 38,000, I
Yeah.
think.
And I can't remember what you were at on the pod, but it was probably half that.
Yeah, I had like 94,000, I think is what
okay.
it was.
Yeah. So that when we did Stony Baloney, dude, that's what
Yeah.
we talked. We'll have to get you back on the pod over
Let's
here.
do it.
Yeah.
Let's
Whenever.
do it.
But yeah, dude. So when you dropped that, you dropped Cocky and it was booming, and then you followed it up with another, but you followed it up with Bankroll, and Bankroll was another dope one too. You want to speak about the how Bankroll came about? Was it just another one you had in the cut?
Bankroll, that one is just producer. He sent it over to me, and like as soon as he sent it over to me, I heard it damn. And then I heard that, I was like, yeah, man. And I was like, and it kind of just came out as like I heard the beat for the first time, and I was like, this is it. Yep. This is it. And I kind of ran with it, and I was like, everybody's working their ass off to go make some money, or you know, everybody wants to make some money. Like we're all chasing the bankroll at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
100%.
So I think a lot of people can relate to that. I mean, it's a good one for, you know, on your way to work, or, you know, when you're chasing some money or something, you know.
No, for sure, man. And your 2023, I feel like was, I don't want to say it's the defining, but up until now, I think that's really where Joe Tyler, like the spike really happened in 2023. And you just continue to keep it going. Like you dropped Ain't No Tomorrow at the top of this year.
Yep. Right. That one's doing pretty well too. Yeah. A lot of people starting to use the sound on TikTok for it. It's helped a lot of artists, man, independently, man. A lot. I can see kind of why the industry might be scared, you know. Yeah.
So yeah, and then we'll speak about this because you've got a couple of songs out with him now. Speak about how you linked up with Ego.
And Joy Band. Ego actually goes back a while.
Okay. Because he's local too to us, yeah. Yeah. Him and Joy Band both.
Ego, Joy Band. Well, I've known them probably 4 or 5 years, maybe. Yeah. And that's just, we did a couple shows together. We never did really. He had sent me one track a long time ago, and something happened to it. He lost the files for it or whatever, and then we never did get nothing cut out of it. And then hell, we just I guess timing. We reached back up here recently, and you know, everything started clicking. We did that Whiskey Bent.
Whiskey Bent dropped February 21st this year, and that was. I remember seeing that on TikTok. I saw all these on TikTok this year. The stuff that you dropped, I've seen it all on TikTok first. But that's some of the best way. I mean, I would think it seems to be the best way to promote now.
Man, it's like the only thing you gotta do. I mean, is just promote yourself. Really, you know. Yeah. A lot of people. I don't know. I haven't put a dime into marketing. Yeah. You know,
and that's definitely something I want you to speak about too, because that's where a lot of artists can get confused and frustrated. And trust me, me and you both I've seen that side of it too, where it's like when you don't have the bag behind you, bro. Shit's frustrating. Yes. Because they make you pay for everything, it seems like. So speak about that a little bit. Like, did your skills at marketing, like yourself, is that something that you just kind of learned along the way, or is it something somebody helped you figure out? Or did you
trial and tribulation, man? Like I said, really, like I started diving into the analytics side. On like every social media app that you have, there's analytics in there. Yep. And you can see what times your followers are most active. You know, and I always kind of went by like, you know, I want to post a little bit before like they're active. You know, you don't want to flood them with too much content during the day or anything like that. Like every time that I've heard somebody, you know, that had put money into, you know, a TikTok promotion or something like this, it's done well for them for like that first week. But then after that, like everything's tainted, and I feel like they just want you to come back to buy more to keep growing. And I feel like it really shuts your account down in a sense. So like that's where kind of I don't know. I know there is like Google and things of that sort to put marketing into, and I don't have much knowledge behind it. I just know about like, hey, if I put this shit and flood it in front of everybody's faces and they see me enough times, they're either gonna like it or they're gonna block me. And if they like me, that's the real ones, and they're gonna stick around and see what I got to grow with, and they're gonna spread it. You know.
No, 100%, dude. That's. No, I get that for sure.
So that's kind of been my whole marketing tactic is like, how real are you?
No, for sure. But that's dope too, though, to know, because it gives people that look up to you or are trying to do what you're doing, like younger kids or whatever, that like you don't have to, if you can just make dope content and be consistent with it, you can see the growth in it without having to go spend a bunch of money or get a bunch of money from an investor or a label or something that you got to pay back tenfold.
And if you
know?
just engage and like, you put time into these people out here that's already fucking with you. One mouth will tell 5 mouths.
Yep.
5 mouths will tell 15 more. Like,
Yep.
and that's where you're gonna get your organic fan base for the people that actually fuck with you for genuinely who you are and what you got going in your movement.
Yeah.
Because they just see you. Let's say they just see something because it's been pushed out on a sponsored ad. It's gonna be right there in front of your face, but you can go look over at the rates of like the engagement versus the dollar that's being spent, and you're just like, really, I'm paying this much for only 300 clicks, and are they even gonna listen to it?
Yeah, it don't translate to like fans,
No, they're not gonna stick around for the long haul.
No, that's facts, man. And then after Whiskey Bent, bro, you dropped another dope one, Highway 29 with Kid Ziggy.
And little Green Day tribute. That was pretty fun, man.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I like that one too. This next one though, bro, this next one is Pick a Bone is your most recent single, correct? Yeah. I remember when you posted this on, I didn't know the song was already finished because when you posted it, I was like, bro, if you ever do a remix, because that shit, I remember it was one of the TikToks when you was walking down the tracks, and I was like, oh, that's that one and the one I was talking about earlier, my favorite ones. But you did Pick a Bone with King Ego, y'all did another one. And that one seems to be doing really well too, and that's your newest one.
Yeah, it's doing pretty decent, man. That's a good one. I wanted to kind of step back into the more hip hop realm of things. Be like, hey, look, here I am. We're back at it, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But we got some new shit coming up, man, and it's fixed. It's a whole nother era. Joe Tyler.
Oh hell yeah! You can speak about that. You ain't got to speak too much about it.
But I'm gonna say something. I know. Mother's Day weekend, May 10th, guys. I got a song called "Hey Mama." It's just the acoustic version. If you gave your mama a hard time, play that song for her. Okay,
I'm
gonna tell you that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you that one. But it's gonna be a good one. But like this new era is fixing to be wild, and I'm excited to see what I got in store for it.
No, for sure, I'm excited too, man. And are you gonna put an album together? You think?
So we had talked about it.
Even if it's just a compilation of like stuff you've already released?
We had talked about it, and I'm thinking about maybe putting something together. I don't know if I want to do it like towards the end of this year, or do it at the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
Because I got some tracks for this summer, and I don't want to really drown them out with like a whole project. I'd really like to, give them the spotlight.
Well, especially if you're being able to get the traction that you're being able to get, bro, off of just putting a single out every month or two.
Well, the single game works a lot. Yeah. It really does, because that's why I've been really scared to drop an album, kind of, because like if I drop a whole album or a mixtape or whatever, they might go through listening to like 3 or 4 of the songs, the first 3 or 4. And then, like, if they don't like 2 of them, they're not going to listen to the rest of the album.
And the rest of the album may be the track 4 may be the best one on there.
You know what I mean?
And they don't hear it.
And then, like, I feel like it's just, I don't want to waste my time wasting other people's time. You know what I mean? Like, cause, and plus a lot of content I put out, I try to put my all into my music to where, like, I know this is a hit. You know, I don't want to release nothing unless I feel like, hey, this is a good song, or I feel like this one's going to take off or something like that. Yeah. So I want to make sure it's worthy of the time that it took me to record it versus, put it out and let everybody, listen to it.
No, for sure, dude. And I'm excited to see what you got coming out, man, because I know that what y'all are doing, what you're doing, especially you and your team's doing, and is working, man. And especially now, like being able to being able to devote all your time to your craft.
Oh yeah,
with promoting and going live or recording or whatever it is. That's ultimately the best thing about it, because now you don't have to divide it up amongst a bunch of other stuff.
I just recently been able to make that happen for me. I talked to the company I was working for. I was an electrician for them going on 6 years, and I didn't know what I was gonna do with my time when I quit working, because I've always worked. You know what I mean? And I was kind of scared. I was like, am I going to be able to make a living off of music right now? I haven't done that before. You know what I mean? And when I told him, I was like, y'all cool if I cut back to like 3 days a week? I'll work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It was like, yeah, man, that's fine. Just take your Mondays, Fridays off. They was pretty supportive of me. And they knew what I had going on outside of like work and stuff like that. But then I had one week my glasses they broke, and I had to make an appointment to go get my glasses fixed. And I told him, I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna have to take Tuesday off, but I'll be back in Friday to make up for Tuesday. And then I had a appointment with my accountant on Thursday, so I was gonna have to leave early. And when I told them that, they was like, "Man, we just don't need you no more." And I was like, "Well, fuck, all right then." You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you was getting to the point, man, where shit was just too. Shit was getting too busy.
I had shit coming on, like I gotta do this, gotta be here for that, you know, da. And I was just like, you know what? I'm bringing in pretty decent, so I think we can make this work.
Yeah, especially if you're able to. I mean, looking at it like I can make this much money only devoting a portion of my time to it because I'm spending 40, 50 hours a week working.
Mm-hmm.
If I can spend all of my time doing it, what could I make? You know,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that showed a lot. That have showed a lot.
Yeah, and you being able to do what you do with because your lives be popping on TikTok. And those do well for you, and that kind of stuff, man. You're able to kind of do that whenever you really feel the want or need to. So
I do. I go live on TikTok about 2 hours in the morning, and I try to go 2 hours in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like right when I wake up, and then let's say about 7 o'clock, when everybody's like chilling out, you know, and stuff at their house, or just got through eating dinner or whatever. Like I try to be live around those 2 times, and the rest of the time during the day, I'm either writing something or, hey, we're gonna go shoot some content or you know something like that. I always try to keep my mind busy, stay on the go.
Yeah, dude. Well, I think you're just getting started in all this, bro, and you keep doing what you're doing. And we got something in the works too. People can look forward to, man. I'm excited.
Itching, boy.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm hyped about that one, bro. So y'all stay tuned for that one.
That one right there. That's a banger.
Yeah, dude. So I'm gonna ask you this before we get out of here, and ask all the interviews this. Who is Joe Tyler?
Man, I'm Joe Tyler. I don't know. I grew up white trash as could be from the country ghetto side of things.
Yeah,
that's me. You take me how you want to. If you don't like it, fuck it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I try to be a happy motherfucker. You know, I stay
super
positive.
Yeah, for sure.
I try to stay positive. You know, I've had a lot of trials and tribulations in life. You know, things that drove me down. But there is always a brighter light at the end of the tunnel. You just gotta want that motherfucker. Yep. That's it.
No, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I appreciate you, Joe Tyler, man. Well, it's been a dope interview, man, and hopefully people that didn't know of you are gonna know more about you, and people that already knew maybe found out some stuff that they didn't know, you know.
Yeah.
And y'all be sure to stay tuned. He's got more stuff on the way. We'll have all of his links in the description. Absolutely. Joe Tyler, ChadArmesTV.
I love y'all. Keep your heads up.